Now, Iranian-born Navid Khonsari is an award-winning video game designer who's worked on hit titles such as Grand Theft Auto and Max Payne.
But he's also gained attention for blending his love of games with making documentaries. And we'll speak with Navid in a moment. But first, let's take a look at his doco game 1979 Revolution, set around the time of the overthrow of the Shah of Iran.
It's incredible. My part is taking pictures, not choosing sides.
Listen, you may not realize it, but you're gonna have to pick a side, okay? You may not want to, but it's gonna happen. For the side that has win. Win? Don't do this, Reza.
Reza, they'll take you to heaven. Where is Ali? This is not a game.
I don't trust this punk with his camera.
Don't do this, Reza.
Well, Navid is currently in Melbourne to speak at the Australian International Documentary Conference, and he joins me now. Thank you very much for joining me. That was an amazing clip that we just saw there. Can you guide us through that particular game, the 1979 Revolution? When you take on something like that, looking at a particular incident as you are, as a particular time, how accurate is this game, and how important is it to get those details right?
Accuracy is absolutely crucial, and by the way, thanks for having me. Accuracy is very, very crucial, and especially when you're bringing real-life stories and a documentary approach to an interactive experience. So for us, we did over 40 interviews. Like many other documentary projects, we did an endless amount of research, brought on board academic as well as religious advisors, and really trying to put together the fabric of what it would be like if you were 18 years old on the streets of Iran, not only exploring and navigating the streets, but also trying to navigate your morality as the society is getting pulled in many different ways.
And that's quite something for people to get their heads around, I think, that this is a video game that is also delving into those sort of areas.
Absolutely. I mean, I think something that people might understand is the old classic choose your own adventure books, where you were able to kind of choose your path and it would branch off in different directions. So that became really the template for the design of the interactive experience. But rather than drawing from things like space or gangsters or any other kind of Hollywood-esque mediums, we decided to draw from real people's experiences. And when we initially started this project, we realized that there was nobody out there doing it. And so we saw a great opportunity in not just making this game, but trying to start a new genre, what we're referring to as verite games.
And so what are you hoping to do with that? Is it much educational as anything else?
It's definitely educational, but I think first and foremost we want it to be engaging in entertainment so that we can draw in as large an audience as possible. And in the process of experiencing this and putting you in the shoes of someone who was in Iran during that time, you get to understand that we're actually very, very similar to one another. The things that we're afraid of, the things that we're concerned about, the things that we love are actually we have in common. And that if we can provide these very intimate experiences through an interactive experience, that perhaps we'll get a little bit more understanding and a little bit more kind of empathy for one another.
Of course, the problem with history, and I guess recent history most of all, is that there are all these competing interpretations of whose viewpoint do you take. Have you gotten any backlash against any particular element or any particular take that you've put into those games?
You know, it's actually been really interesting. The feedback we've got has been all positive. I mean, the game did get banned in Iran, but that's because we referred to the game as the 1979 Revolution and not the Islamic Revolution. We really tried hard to portray an even and well-balanced kind of portrayal of what took place, of all the factions, political and religious. But in the end, our goal isn't to try to give you a macro approach to what took place historically. You can refer to books, documentaries. There's multiple outlets for that. What we wanted to do was to convey the people's experience. When you take a look at the revolution in Iran, at its height, 1 million people participated in it. That's 1 million people out of 36 million. And what we wanted to do was give voice to everybody that was involved.
What do you think is the extension of this melding of genres there, the documentary and the video game? How far could this be taken, and where would you like to take it? And I guess, are there limits on that? Are there just some places and some instances that you just can't go to?
I think, you know, this is the first step. I think for us, it's part of this is also a discovery. I think it's inevitable that these mediums are going to start kind of merging together based on just how people are wanting to kind of consume different types of experiences. And so as a result, I think documentaries and telling real stories within interactive experience and also within virtual reality is a great new kind of area for us to explore. And I don't think all stories are adaptable to it, but I do think that those who are kind of passionate about telling certain stories and are really interested in breaking down barriers rather than building up walls will lean towards this as digital interactive experiences, as we've seen with the massive growth of smartphones, iPads, and gaming, is seeping into every element of our lives. And if we can reach out to people to kind of do this, it's just going to be a phenomenal new wave.
Navid Khonsari, thank you so much for joining us. It's an absolutely fascinating pushing of the envelope there, and I'm sure we'll hear a lot more about it. Thank you.
Thank you.